Hello YouTubers! It's the first pickup video of 2021. Yeah, it's always taken a while, but you know, life takes over, doesn't it really? And I was quite busy doing those PS1 collection vids, so yeah, so today's a pickup video. I've got lots of a nice mix of gaming related goodies to show you guys. I've been quite busy. I've been off work for the past week and a half for just taking up my annual leave really. I had some overdue and I wanted to take it before next year. You know, you've got to be careful. You can't always assume that you'll be here in the new year. So I know you can carry some leave over from where I work, but I didn't want to take a chance with that. No, I'd take the annual leave and treat it like almost like self-isolation in a way. So it's given me the opportunity to sort out and do some jobs really in the game room and also around the house really. So I've moved the Saturn games from out the hallway into a game room, made room for that. I've also dug out I had 1/3 of my PS2 games, which must have been about 400 or 500 PS2 games I had in the back of the game room, high up on the windowsill, which was going on the whole length of the game room, which was quite difficult to get to. So that was a massive job to get to, and fortunately my daughter being homeschooling at a minute because of the lockdown. It's been handy. Excuse that, it's just my phone going. That's been handy in the sense that she's been able to help me, especially getting into now areas where I can't get to. And I must admit, I do need to lose some of this COVID belly at some point, but there'll be time for that in the future, hopefully. So I don't want to, you know, worry about that too much. I think that everyone's got too much on their plate as it is. So to cut a long story short, I have had, you might be able to see in the background, a bit of a change to the wall behind me, really, in the living room. So I managed to incorporate all my PS2 games together in one place now. And basically I've worked out how much space I need for the games on my want list, which are about 80 games on my want list, plus what I've got here. And when I've got my 80 games, there's going to be about 1,200 PS2 games, believe it or not, all behind me here. So that's quite it's quite a mammoth undertaking going through those yesterday. I wanted to put all the letters together, all the A's, B's and C's, not straight alphabetical but loose, so I could identify doubles, which is quite handy because out of those games I've dug out and what was there and everything else, I managed to accumulate a suitcase for PS2 games with about 80 odd games which I can trade as because they're doubles, not one thing else really, or games that aren't that important. So I've cut down a lot of the sports titles and other real ones like FIFA Street games and NBA Street and stuff, which I wanted in the collection, but realistically I'm never going to get around to playing. So just so I can all have my PS2 games in one place, and that's it now. You know, I'm not going to expand more on what's on my want list and what's there. That is it. And those 80 games on my want list do include about 20 Japanese games. Cool, I'm getting a few emails through. Anyway, ignore that. It's not Master Chief, it's just my emails. Okay, so where was I? What else am I doing? Yes, pickups. Yeah, it's been a month. A lot of these pickups are stuff I got after Christmas as well, and some of these have taken a while getting here. In my area, in like southwest Essex, on the east coast of East London, I suppose, a lot of the area, Grays where I live, and also some of the London depots like Romford and stuff have been badly hit by COVID, and so they've had a lot of staff sicknesses, and I really feel sorry for those people in postal services who have been off sick. And I've got nothing against the postal workers themselves, but I do think that that they're probably behind the times in respect to technology and probably got poor management, because you think about other companies, other delivery companies like Hermes and Amazon, even though they don't do day-to-day post, they are able to deliver what they sell pretty damn quick most of the time. But I've had stuff, on average I'm waiting now about 4 weeks for anything posted to me now. If it's tracked or whatever, about 4 weeks. When it used to be, like in a couple of days. So you know, you can blame sickness for that and everything else really, and you know, I'll probably put. I think the bottom line, it does go down to a post office management, and like I said, I've got nothing against the postal workers themselves, but you know, knock-on effect on this is that a lot of the stuff I've ordered off eBay, I've had to make claims for to say I never received them, because if it takes more than 4 weeks and I haven't put a claim in and it gets lost, I've lost that money, haven't I? So I've got to put a claim in, and a few of those games I've ordered to put a claim in have turned up in the end. And I know with sellers who sold those have made claims against War Mail, so hopefully they'll get their money back in the long run, and the only people who will be hurt in the long run, hopefully, will be the post service, really. Except those sellers that may have sold cheap games that aren't really worth making a claim for, really. But hey ho, it's not my fault, and I can't see why I should suffer because of the post service anyway. But like I said, I've got nothing against the postal workers themselves. They do a damn good job on the whole. It's just that I think they need a lot more investment and a lot more technology invested to make their life a bit faster and easier for them, really, I suppose. But hey ho, I've waffled on for enough. Let's talk about pick up some games, really. Okay. I've got a wide mix, really, of goodies, really, so I'm trying to work out what's the best thing to go through first. I think what I'll do is I'll get rid of something large. Cushions, yes. I'm not exactly. You think, what's cushions got to do with games? Well, these are gaming related ones. So here I've got a Sega Saturn controller cushion, and also a big Japanese Sega Saturn cushion. And these were half priced on the Sega store. So that big one was about £10, and this one was about £7. I think they're sold out now, but they had obviously Mega Drive ones and Genesis ones originally, I think. But I think they all got sold out anyway. But these ones are really nice because I'm a bit, I love Saturn more than anything else, so I'm quite happy to get those. Hardware, okay. Don't think I showed this in the previous video. The Game & Watch, everyone's got these now. I bided my time. I managed to get one for 40 quid on Amazon when they dropped the price for a day or two. I think it's back to 50 now, but it's really nice little handheld for a collection. And for the price of a PS4 game, I thought, why not, really? Even if I don't really get around to playing it much. Something that was free that came in the post. It's from PlayStation, Sony. It's a PS5 PSVR adapter. If you've got the original PSVR, which is hooked up and designed to be connected to a PS4, they've sent you an adapter. I think it's like a USB 3 type adapter or whatever else, with a special dongle. So you can use your existing PSVR set with a PS5. I mean, I don't have a PS5 yet, and I'm not planning to get one for a long time anyway. But if you've got a PSVR registered with Sony, they emailed me to say that do you want one of these? I said yeah, and they'll just send it one to you for free. So handy little bit of kit which I may use at some point in the future, hopefully. Talking of Saturn, from a Sega store as well. I've got one of these, and you may think, what on earth's that? It looks like a Sega Saturn, but a lot smaller. It looks like a Sega Saturn Mini, doesn't it, really? If you look at that, the size and dimension and the shell, that could easily be turned into a Sega Saturn Mini, I suspect. Even if you put a RetroPie 4 or whatever in there. But it is actually a wireless phone charger. I mean, I've got an older phone which doesn't do wireless charging, but it's still a nice thing for a collection. And I think it was reduced to about, it was about £12 mark in the Sega store. So I thought they had them for the other ones, Dreamcast, and did they have a Sega Mega Drive one? They may have done as well, obviously Japanese models. But I think they sold out. But the Saturn one, again, for that money, I thought, yeah, it's a nice little novelty. Have that for the money. Okay, right, I've got this. You may think, well, that's just for a box. It's a nice little box, and can you guess what that's for from the artwork on that box? Yeah, Space Invaders. Yeah, my arcade, who brought out lots of little mini arcade things, I've brought out their first deluxe model. And I think there's two other ones due to come out. I think one's Contra, which is sort of semi-deluxe, and another one's going to be Street Fighter 2, which looks nice too, but I don't know if I'll get that or not, but we'll see. This is the Deluxe Space Invaders one. Now you think, oh, there's so many of these clones, what's so special about this one? Well, what's good about this one, if I can remember how to turn it on. I'll just put the button, don't I? Or do I... Well, oh. Stop checking. I've still got batteries in there, so... How on earth do I turn this on again? Oh, that's it. I forgot. You got to press the coin slot and turn it on. Now, what you may notice there is, let's see if I can turn the volume up as well. The internal mic that comes with it, it's not that powerful, but you can plug in a headphones or speaker to get more sound, which is quite a good thing to have. Put some credits. Okay, I don't know if I can get that out on the camera. You can just about see it, yeah? Basically, as you can see, if I look further down, it's got the screen being projected onto a diagonal type mirror with like a perspex painted overlay middle screen type thing to give the effect, help to give the 3D effect, which is also how the original Space Invaders was set up, really. And so it's very faithful to the original Space Invaders. It plays fine being a little bit larger scale. And I was watching this for a while, and for 1 or 2 days, again, it was reduced to the £40 mark. I think it's gone back up to 50 again now on Amazon. So I thought that's a really nice piece of kit, because I think Space Invaders is classic, isn't it? It's, you know, and I'm never going to have space for a full-size Space Invaders. And to be honest, even if I did have space for a full-size Space Invaders, because it's how hard, it won't get the love and attention it deserves. I wouldn't play it as much as one should, really. But I will play as a little bit, and obviously I've got Space Invaders on all my other arcade sticks, and tons of other means of playing this, which actually another one which I'll show you in a minute. Another way of playing this. So it's more for as a collector's piece for a room, really. And I've sort of set up a shelf in the game room, which is like got my other little working little tiny mini arcades around it. So I've created a little mini arcade room for a little toy Mario figure to play against. That sounds silly, but I will show it when I do get around doing the game room video, guys. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to do a 2021 game room video update when it's. I've got a couple more bits coming to go in the game room. Once they're there, I'll do a video, which will probably be in about another month or two's time. A nice little update, because I've done a few subtle changes to a game room. So it's, and with what I've done here, I think it deserves a bit of a 2021 update. So that'd be a nice video for people who are interested in that sort of thing. So yeah, that's where my arcade Space Invaders. So let's put that somewhere safe. Make sure I don't scratch it. Okie dokie. Well, like I said, even the box that it comes in with, it's quite a nice, really nicely made box, really. So that's good. But I'm going to keep it out of the box, so it'll get the love and attention it deserves. Well, I'm just going through box bits. Nothing special. I've got this light up Xbox One controller and Windows 10 controller. It's a wired controller. Really good feel. Got it from Argos. I think it's about £35 mark. But it's really nice. You've got a choice of LED lights and everything. So if you want a decent Xbox One controller wired, that's really good if you can't afford an Elite one, which I'm not going to spend the money on Elite. And to be perfectly honest, this feels pretty damn good, even better than the original Xbox One controller. So yeah, so I've got that. Little accessory. I got a plug-in and play Hori stand for the Switch Mini, so you can actually connect. Obviously you can connect obviously cables and stuff to it, really. but more importantly, you can connect a arcade stick to the Switch Mini, which is what I've done. Again, I've done a little shelf with my Switch Mini on display on this with one of my mini Hori arcade kits connected to it. So it's like, again, it's like a playable mini arcade, and even though the screen on the Switch is a bit small, it's no smaller than a lot of these mini arcades anyway, really. But obviously, you know, I can play my entire Switch library plus all those fantastic shooters and downloadable digital games which I've got as well. I've got quite a few Neo Geo ones on there too. So yeah, I thought it was about £25 mark. So it's good to have that for the Switch Mini. Right, a couple of pop figures. I know a lot of people hate pop figures, but I don't mind them. And even though they do tend to breed and take over houses, I've been trying to, you know, I was tempted with these because obviously they're so gaming related, and obviously you recognise these characters, guys. Yeah, it says Contra on the top. It is the main characters from the original Contra, Bill Riser and Lance Bean. So I just thought they were, you know, pretty sweet actually, little sweet pop figures. So I thought, yeah, I'll have those. For the Switch also, I've got this little bad boy. It is the Taiko no Tatsune Drum and Fun drum game, rhythm game, which comes with the Hori drum kit. Now, this was reduced in Argos from a retail price of £100 to £66, and I had a £6 off voucher anyway, so I got this for 60 quid in the end. And it comes with a physical game, which is more important, because a lot of these Taiko no Tatsune games that you can buy, they're just digital download codes only. So we wanted a physical game plus obviously with decent hardware to play it on, and so my daughter and I, even my wife, we've played this 3 times this week already actually. And even though most of the songs are real weird, quirky Japanese songs, there's a few, you know, Nintendo ones like Kirby and Namco like Pac-Man and Splatoon and other little sort of Nintendo specialist songs on there. But it's just quirky, but it's also quite fun. So if you like drum type based rhythm games, this is actually very good. I highly recommend this, and for that price that's pretty good, because if you look on elsewhere on Amazon and eBay, people are asking, you know, that retail price for these, wherever you go really, so, you know, 60 quid for that, that's pretty good. And I suspect in the future that will be quite a collectible item for a Switch. I reckon that they'll keep their price a bit like the what's that that Maracas set for the Sega Dreamcast. That's quite collectible, isn't it? I can't remember what that game is now with the Maracas, but I think, you know, Sambo Amigo set for a Dreamcast, that goes for a fortune, doesn't it? I reckon it's going to be just like that in terms of a collectible piece, but it's also functionally quite good to play. So it's fun that, and I've got the drum kit out, and I'm going to leave it out in the game room for me to use with my daughter. It's a nice little game for us to play with. Okay, alright, one more piece of hardware to go now, I think. Yep. I ordered this from Canada, and it just needed a new battery, and I got it for about £45 plus another £15 shipping, and I didn't get hit by customs charge, which is really good, and a bit of a novelty really, because I think Royal Mail would like to take up any opportunity to impose charges and everything on you really sometimes. But anyway, so what is it? Well, if I show you that, you think, oh, it's a white PSP. But any of you who know about PSPs will know that there is a collectible white PSP, which has got a bit of a character on it. It's a phone. I'm going to have to answer that. Come back in a minute, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Ran out of juice. God, everything's conspiring against me today. What was I saying? Yeah, Josh Prod and their shop. Oh God, what is it called? It's not Red Art Games. It's oh, I can't remember what it's called now. It'll come to me later. Anyway, a licensed SNES game. So this is Iron Commando. Hard as nails game actually. Plays really well, and comes with a manual and everything. It's, you know, it's a proper re-release, but it is a re-release. So I think the original release in Japan goes for big money, whereas this one, I think it was about £45 or whatever from the Josh Pod's store. But I'm trying to remember what the name of that store is, but it's just escaping me. They do Dreamcast games and all sorts too. I think it begins with a P, but I can't remember now. But anyway, yeah, so I got that, and a new SNES game of sorts. From Retrobit on Amazon, I got the Metal Storm NES game. AD Rollercore's got the collector's set of this. And if you want to know, if you do get this, you want to know what colour you're getting. If you look on the back of the box, it actually says kindly the colour. So here I've got what they call the Twilight Black, which is like a shiny gloss black NES card really. That's quite nice. Yeah, so it's really nice to have this game. One little warning guys, it does say this on the sticker here, that if the cartridge is not working on your Power NES, that you need to press the reset button twice while the power is on. Now that's fine if you've got a reset button, but that works in that way. But if you're playing on the Retro Freak, which I've got, you can't do that. So you can't actually play this game on the Retro Freak, but there's a way around it, and that is simply to install the ROM directly onto the memory card on your Retro Freak and play it that way. I've done that with a Japanese ROM because but this is like the Japanese game but translated into English. I think it's more playable than the American version. So I didn't want the American ROM, but I wanted the Japanese for that reason. And there's only a little bit of Japanese text in the game, so you can work around that. So that's one way of playing it on the Retro Freak. If you don't have, I mean, I do have original NES, and I even have a Hyperkin NES clone console, all hidden away in a game room somewhere. So I do have ways of playing this physical game if I wanted to, but it was just easier to download, get the ROM and put it on the Retro Freak that way. But it's still nice to have a physical copy of the game for a collection. Okie dokie. More messages. I'm in demand. In demand. Okay, a couple of Wii games. Sid Meier's Pirates. I think it's about £2 or £3. Russell on his Retro Bear channel, he was showing that on his Wii collection, so I thought, oh, I've got that, I didn't know that existed. Eagle, again this is about £4 or £5, bit different Wii game, so only a couple of cheapies. Okay, I'm collecting all the Pro Evolution Soccer games for all the systems really, and as you know, with some of those games are quite expensive when it goes into the last few years of a system's life. So here I've got the 2010 version of PES. I think I got it for under a tenner. But when you go, I do have 2011, I think, but I think I got to get, or 2012, I can't remember. But I think there's like 2012 and 13 and maybe 14, I can't remember now. But those later systems, the prices they go up massively. They do. Because obviously they didn't sell so many, because most people were buying them on the PS3, weren't they? So yeah, so that's that one for collection. That was the only PS2 game I got actually. Okie dokie, what else we got? Right. On the Game Boy Advance, Ice Age. I do love these movies. There was an Ice Age 2 and 3 on the PS2, but not an Ice Age 1 brought out, even on the PS1 really. So if you want an Ice Age game based on the original game, movie, I think the Game Boy Advance was the only way of getting one, I think. Okay, for DS, a couple of cheap DS games. Alright, Hidden Photo. That is an unusual, it's one of those, there's a few DSi games. Again, that's about £4 or £5 mark off CX when it was open before lockdown. So I thought, you don't get to see many DSi exclusive games, so I thought I'd just pick that up. And also they had a sort of science fiction puzzle quest game called Galerix. So it's like a sci-fi RPG mixed with a puzzle game type thing, I think. So yeah, why not? Again, it was only about £3 or £4. Okie dokie, let's turn to the Dreamcast. Okay, I think I've finished collecting for a Dreamcast now, and there was a couple of cheap games. I say cheap, as you know, since the pandemic, prices on a lot of games have gone up silly money. They have, because obviously I think most people are forced to buy online now, and so it kind of pushes the price up as well, as people thinking they can charge more. So to have Buggy Heat, that was good, but that still cost me about £20 mark, which is probably too expensive. And Sega GT2 all complete again. I think that was about a £15 mark, but still, these, you know, normally they would have been cheaper, a lot cheaper than that last year. And this one I got for a really good price. Mackin X. There is an improved version on the PS2, which I do own. I think is it a Japanese exclusive? I can't remember. But I do have a PS2 version of this as well, which is like a new improved version, which is better. I think this one's got some tank controls. I think the PS2 versions, we've done away with them or something. It's not a sequel. It's like a new and improved version, but still, I wanted it on the Dreamcast, and I think I got that for about, I think it was about a £40 mark, which isn't too bad really. Alright, Saturn games. Pretty much, there are a few Saturn games which I got repro, which I want to upgrade, but which I'm still working on, money and funds permitting. But aside from those, there were some shooting games which I did own, which aren't silly money really, which I thought were nice to have. One which I got for about £10 mark from a UK seller is Space Invaders. Now, this is not the Space Invaders 3D game that you can get on the PlayStation 1, but this is more like a combination of the original Space Invaders games. So, you know, the first few in the series really. So yeah, to have a nice combination of that of Space Invaders, why not on the Saturn? Especially for a tenner. Okay, there's a couple of other Japanese games which are like spaceship type shooting games. They're not like bullet hell games, but more like third person perspective spaceship shooting games, and they've got mixed reviews, but they're not expensive. So one is Chaos Control Remix. So that's Chaos Control Remix, if you're thinking about. Okay, if you can see it or not. Okay, guys, look up the gameplay on YouTube if you're interested in checking this one out for your collection. Again, it wasn't a lot of money. And another one, which again, there's lots of negative reviews on this, but when you look into it, a lot of those reviews get challenged by feedback by other people, and so this is one of those games that are got a bad reputation, but it's probably not as bad as what people make out. And it's Planet Joker. Again, it's not, you know, again it's quite a cheap game really, and any shooting games for Saturn that's relatively cheap, even if it's average, I think it's worth collecting in my book, because they tend to go up eventually, don't they? Okay, that's that lot. Now, I know I've done my PlayStation 1 collection videos, and after I'd done that, I thought, actually there are a couple of games which I don't own, which I would still like to have. One I thought I had, but I hadn't. Instead I had 2 copies of Wipeout 3, and that was the original Wipeout, so I've got that now. Really glad to have that. And there's also these 2 games which I got on the PS2, but they were PS1 versions. So it's Pro Evolution Soccer, the first one, getting cheapest chip, and Pro Evolution Soccer 2. I say cheap as chips, they're still about the £6 mark when they probably were about under £1 in the old days. And these two other games, which one is a licensed rental version, which has probably got the manual on the back of the box, and that's Blasto. And I think I got that for about the £15 mark, which I think you can get this as original crystal case version for about over £30, but for £15 will do me for this title. It's got the actor who got shot by his girlfriend, I believe. He did a voice casting for what's this? Troy McClure in The Simpsons. Can't remember the actor's name, but you'll recognise him. But I think that was like the last project he done before he died, actually. So it's quite a tricky game. Apparently, controls aren't fantastic, but it's got a lot of jokes and stuff in it, so it's, it's a good one to have in the collection. And another Warner Brothers game, Sheep, Dog and Wolf. So yeah, that's it. It's got the what's his name, Wiley Coyote character, but it hasn't got the Roadrunner in it, I don't believe. So it's just got him and Sheepdog. So I think there's a series of cartoons with him and the Sheepdog, wasn't there? So obviously this is what this is based on, as opposed to Roadrunner strictly. Okie dokie, shall we go to Switch? A few games on the Switch. Right, this came out in the last few days. This is like the basic version of a Talcon re-release. So it's got Talcon, Mega Talcon, sorry, Talcon 2 and what's it, Super Talcon. £25, relatively cheap. I think Strictly Limited Games have bought 2 individual collections of Talcon games, which are about €35 each or whatever. So that's about €70. So what's that? About £60. I'm not huge. I mean, these are great games. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not Talcon mad. So I think this will do me actually, and I might also get this on the PS4 too. Got for that decent price really. So I probably won't go for those strictly limited versions. Okay, another game which is it's not bad. It plays like a top-down shooting game. You're looking at the graphics, you think, is it like an iOS, Android type game? I guess it could be. But it's Aces of the Luftwaffe Squadron, and it's it's a physical game version, and it wasn't a lot of money. I think it was about £12 mark. So yeah. Okay, from Limited Run Games, at long last, Panzer Dragoon. That took forever to come. Obviously, they're now re-releasing it on the PS4, and I probably would have gone for that instead of that version, but now you got it, might as well still keep it. So I've ordered the PS4 version of that as well, really, but it's good to have that all the same. Okay, another Limited Run game, Shantae and the Seven Sirens. And the common retail version of which comes with a booklet and keyring, Streets of Rage 4. I've got the Limited Run version on the PS4, but I wanted the Switch version too. And another Limited Run release, Senran Kagura Reflections. So obviously that goes with my pervy Japanese Senran Kagura collection. Every good collection should have those, I believe. And also, Nicalis has brought out a couple of re-releases. I've got this also on the PS4, and they weren't too expensive. They come with that little metal model of the Ikaruga ship, and so obviously it's Ikaruga. But it's a real nice set actually. Now I've opened the PS4 version and played that, but I'm keeping this Switch one all sealed, I think. And they weren't hugely expensive. They are limited, so do check out the Nicalis store, guys, if you're interested, because these won't be around forever, and I think that, again, they'll be quite collectible, really. And I'm really surprised I haven't seen many people show these on their videos. You know, not many people seem to have shown those. Which is, I'm really surprised really by. So I would have thought it'll be scooped up by most people in the YouTube community who collect video games, but hey ho. Right. One Xbox One game, Minecraft Dungeons Hero Edition. I think that's about £15 mark. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah. Been slowly finishing off my Xbox 360 collection. I think it's literally, literally about 2 or 3 games I need to get on the PAL system, and there's only one Japanese game I want to get now. So anyway, we got Transformers: Rise of a Dark Spark. Now this game, guys, does not come with a manual. Okay, not this particular edition. None of them do. And for a while, I've been trying to get one for ages, and each time I've asked, "Oh, has it got the manual?" and it hasn't. Well, now I've done a bit of research on it and actually checked on eBay and looked at unboxings of new copies. Actually, it never came with a manual. So if you, like me, like to have games complete with manuals, and you're going for Xbox 360, just for this particular one, don't expect to ever find a manual without one, because you won't. So don't turn it down if you just see it cheap, just because it's got no manual. But this one I got new and sealed from Music Bag Pie. It was about £15. Yeah, sealed game, why not? I do have it on the PS3 as well. Okay, Family Game Night 4. Obviously the 1 and 2 are more common, and 3's, a bit slightly less common, but 4 is really super uncommon really. I wouldn't say it's rare, but it is uncommon. You don't see it as often, guys. So if you are collecting these family family game night games, whatever you want to call them, there's actually 4 of them, guys, on the 360. So be mindful of that. Again, this is about £2. Aliens vs Predator. I decided to get all the Aliens games on the 360. I had them on the PS3, but I decided to get them on the 360 too. So I'm just getting a few of those, and they're dirt cheap anyway. So what's the harm? Okay, one Japanese game. This version has got bad reputation because it's really hard, and the options to change the difficulty aren't available from day one. You have to really grind to get those, to unlock those. And so the PS2 version, I believe, of this game, I think it's PS2, has got better reviews. But to have it, I still wanted it on the 360. And it's Dodonpachi Daioju Black Label Extra. And this comes with like a little art book magazine. I got this from an American seller. I'm trying to remember how much I paid for it now. It wasn't bad. It was much cheaper than getting it from Japan. I think I got it for about £60 mark. Which for these Japanese cave shooter type games aren't bad. But yeah, got that for a collection. Okay, guys, near the end now. Just the PS4 games now. Just the PS4. Got a few PS4 games here. I've got about 20 games. So we have Wolfenstein Alternative History Collection. Unfortunately, not all the games are on a disc. Okay, guys, I think this comes with like first 2 games, and then we're still like download codes, unfortunately. So it's got 4 games: The New Order, Old Blood, The New Colossus, and Young Blood. But unfortunately, they're not all physical. So if you want those games, you're going to have to get a new copy and download them, guys. Or, I mean, I've got those individually on physical games anyway. I have. But you can't get them all in one multi-set in a physical format. Okay, guys. Yeah, they do have a DLC code, which is unfortunate. And in the same vein, it's the same with Dishonored and Prey, the Arcane Collection. Again, I think it's got Prey and Dishonored 1, but I think Dishonored 2 and the third one, I think it's DLC again. which is a bit disappointing really, but hey ho. Alright, another limited one game. I showed a Switch version. I also have on the PS4, Shantae and the Seven Sirens. And this game, it was a physical copy was bought out by Limited Run. It was like a free to play. I say free to play. It probably is free to play, but one of those mini type fighting type games, shooting type fighting games, and I think the competition just killed it off, even though it's actually quite good. And so I think the server is actually down. So this is one of these games which I don't think you can actually play. And it's Lawbreakers, Gravity, Defying Combat. It's all new and sealed, limited run. I think you can get this off eBay quite cheap now. I think I've got this. I think it's about a £20 mark. Again, it's more of a collector's piece than anything else really. So if you're after PS4 rarities, even if it was a game that you probably won't be able to play, that is one to look for, guys. You won't see it in the shops because it's not playable. So CEX will simply not take that game in. I don't think they'll take them to run games anyway, but still they'll definitely not take that in because you won't be able to play it. So that's a game that you're going to have to look online for. Okay, a VR game which I got really cheap, Mini Motor Racing X. And another VR game, Light Tracer. And that's a limited run one actually. Okay, Fast and Furious Crossroads, again, got that really cheap. Minecraft Dungeons Hero Edition, I had it on the Switch, but I like to, with Minecraft games I do tend to double dip. Rocket Arena Mythic Edition, again, this is quite a cheap game. It's about £10 or £12 I got it for. Bought that for my daughter to play, but she's not played it. Typical, isn't it? Zombie Army 4, Dead War, another limited run, Makina Fighters 98 Ultimate Match. They just brought out a new one last week, didn't they? And I missed out on it, so I'm going to have to look out for that if I can get it for a reasonable price. Sisters Royale on the PS4. Again, this is a strictly limited games. I had a Switch version. So it's really good to get the PS4 version of it too. I'll show you the Switch version. Streets of Rage 4. This is a limited run edition. Comes with a CD soundtrack and card and stuff, so it's okay. Alright, I think this is about £20 off eBay. It is for Metro Exodus Limited Aurora Edition. It comes with a massive steel book and art book and stuff. I've not played a Metro game, although they do look bloody good. So it's one of the ones, it's one of my guilty games in the sense I own it, but I've not got around to playing it yet. And I think it's about 4 or 5 of those games, haven't they? Okay, Shadow of a Tomb Raider with Definitive Edition. I got that cheap. This is another, it's Nicalis exclusive, Runner 3. Limited run Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Basically it's just a PS2 game, isn't it? Or was it a Nintendo 64, that one? One of the two, but it's that generation anyway. Another limited run. Well, actually, this is a Pixel Love version. I didn't get the limited one version, I think, because it was actually also released by Pixel Love Games, and it was cheap. S&K, I think that was about £20 with shipping. But yeah, I do have to get it from the Pixel Love store. So another S&K battle game, or fighting game. Kingdoms of Amalur: The Re-Reckoning. This is a game that the studio, which we have a partnership with, McFarlane Toys. It went bust after making the game. It's apparently a really good PS3 game and Xbox 360 game, but it went bust afterwards. But obviously, Nordic, THQ Nordic must have bought the property, I suppose, or license, whatever, and so they've released it on the PS4. Again, it wasn't a lot of money really, so it's a really good game. So nice to have it on the modern system. Sniper Elite V2 remastered. Again, this is the Sniper Elite games. This is another one which I've not got around to playing. PlayStation VR Squadrons. I got that for about £16 mark. I really want to play that. Not got around to it yet. Warhammer Crossbane. Rage 2. Again, a lot of these I got cheap. World Wars Z, based on the movie. Another limited one. Star Wars Jedi Knight 2. Jedi Outcast. Another VR game. Ninja Legends. And Iron Man VR. I had this on the Switch. Aces of the offer. This is a PS4 version. Again, it was about the £12 price. Jedi Academy, first one by limited one. Again, the PS2 game. And finally, Hello Neighbour. That's it. That's the last of my pickups, guys. So thanks for staying tuned for this long. Hope it's been okay. I really appreciate your support, and as always, guys, if you like to thumbs up or leave comments below, that always helps the channel. I really appreciate your support, guys. It's not about the number of subscribers or number of views. It's all about our community, and so I really like the feedback and the conversations I have with people in the comments boxes and so forth, and supporting the YouTube community. Really, I really enjoy it, really. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. The next video, I'm not sure if it'll be a gaming video or it'll be another pickup. We'll just have to see how things go. But thanks for your support, and meanwhile, stay safe and take care. Bye.